everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Current Temp. And man, what a accurate title this week. I mean, that's been the big story, the temperature and how doggone cold it is outside. So let's jump right into it. Again, Lexus of Memphis, phenomenal partners. Thank you for making this possible and being a part of our show. You have been tremendous and continue to be fantastic people and product. All right, it's the big freeze, Memphis. We talked about this days in advance. We gave you a heads up of what was coming. Now I'm going to break down what exactly occurred and what we're going to see over the next few days. So this is going to be a rather quick show, a pretty quick weather update. Before I get into that, I do want to say thank you to everyone who sent in some amazing photos and cartoons. I mean, you guys are super talented, and it means the world to me for you to take the time to even do that. So thank you. Let's talk about what happened here. We talked about this in advance. We said we were going to get three main types of precipitation. We said we would see snow, sleet, and freezing rain. And, of course, all those happened, even with some rain mixed in as well. So 4 types, 3 of them wintry. And I think it played out pretty much as directed. The northern portion of the Mid-South, we'll put Memphis right here in the middle. There's Memphis. We got snow mainly to the north, some staggering totals. We saw a mix right across that Memphis corridor going into south central Arkansas of sleet, freezing rain, and snow, and then mainly freezing rain for our friends down in North Mississippi. I mean, that was tough, wasn't it? Really, it felt terrible as that piled up. But this is what happened in Memphis and why the roads are so bad. The first thing we saw was the snowfall, and then, man, did that sleet come down. And we talked earlier about how sleet occurs, how it falls through warm air, turns into rain, then falls into cold air, turns into an ice pellet, and it just kept coming and coming and coming. I saw some totals for the Memphis area and all the surrounding communities, 4, 5, 6 inches of sleet, and then a little bitty layer of snow on top of that. So what ended up happening after we got all that? Well, really it turned basically into what I'm calling a snow and ice lasagna. We got that snow at the bottom, right? And then we had so much frozen precip, sleet pellets, that it piled up and came off of our roofs and dumped in front of our doors and made these giant mounds. And then we had a little bit of snow on top of it. And all that compressed. And, of course, we know that temperatures stayed below freezing for almost last week, so that a week ago we had this event and our driveways and our coves and our local neighborhoods still look exactly the same. That's really unusual. We don't normally have a deep, long freeze after a weather event like this, which is relatively rare anyway. So it's been a really unusual sort of circumstances that let all this just stay on those roadways and not change. We didn't get warm enough to really get any significant melting, but I do think that's going to change this next week. This is what you want to know. Man, tomorrow's still going to be cold. Sunday around 35, but that means between roughly noon and 3, 1 and 4 p.m., we're going to see some better melting. It'll begin, but there's just so much ice it's going to take a minute. Monday is when most of this should really accelerate quickly. Now, I think I've already seen a lot of schools are closing for Monday because a lot of these roads are still horrendous. But Monday, we're going to hit 47. Tuesday is going to be the warmest day of the week. I think we got a little bit of rain moving through, not a lot, a little bit. And then on Wednesday, it drops back down to 37, then it bounces around a little bit. The good thing about this map is that we are finally getting above that critical freezing point, and that's going to mean roads, everything will start to clear, and we'll get those weight of that ice off the roofs. And then maybe we can all begin shopping normally at all the stores. All right, folks, that's a very quick weather update for you on this week's The Current Temp. As always, if you've got a question, if you've got an idea for a show, or if you just want to leave a comment, you can email us, thecurrenttemp@gmail.com. Now, you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify. And I hope that you guys have stayed warm and that you have a great week. Let's get this melt going.